like now it's been a couple of weeks since John resigned. Your feeling on how all that played out, though, the emails becoming public, all of it, like.
Well, I don't want to get into all of it, but the Raiders have always stood for diversity, inclusion, social justice. It's in our DNA. The emails that John had sent didn't reflect that. I've never seen John exhibit any of those things in practice with the Raiders, but he's no longer the coach of the Raiders. It was something that had to be done. It didn't represent what the Raiders stand for. And
it seemed like at the time like you were a little upset with the way the league handled it.
Well, I'm not going to get into that right now, but it's a timing issue, and that's probably what the disappointment I had.
The fact that it happened in the middle of the season?
Well, the fact that they may have known about it a couple of months beforehand and didn't let us know that. We weren't informed until, I guess it was that Thursday, and we heard it from the Wall Street Journal initially, and it was a rumor. They wouldn't give us the email. At that time, the Wall Street Journal wouldn't. We spoke to the league later on that afternoon, and by Friday they started getting us all the information, spoke with the commissioner and those things. But I believe that if we'd have gotten the information earlier in the in the summer, when they learned about it, it would have been a lot easier for everybody involved.
Do you feel like you were treated unfairly, like based on like?
No, I'm not going to get into any of that. We're Raiders. We're used to this, and that's just about what our life is about. But it is disappointing, and just the whole thing with John. Again, it's just life.
How do you think generally the league has handled the Washington football team investigation and the fact that John so far is the only person?
I can't get into that because the only thing we've seen is the emails that John had. And we haven't seen any of the others and anything else. So that's basically what again, what I had said initially was that, ask the NFL. They've got all the answers. We really don't. So.
Do you accept the punishment of the Washington football team? I know you don't want to get into it, but just...
as far as do I accept, I didn't get punished, so I don't know if I accept anything. I honestly don't know. These things are, they're fluid. And
would you like a written report to be able to decide on your own?
As far as what happened with Washington?
Correct.
I'm not so sure that that's my focus per se, but yeah, absolutely. I think somebody should be looking at this. And I think the league feels that it's been looked at. They claim that nobody said anything or anything else has been like that. They've seen all the emails. They've seen everything. We have not.
How much responsibility do you feel as an owner to ensure that another owner in the league who might be accused and guilty of horrible behavior is not allowed to remain in that position?
That's a really good question, and I'd have to answer that on a case-by-case basis.
Jerry Jones said a moment ago that all the owners were in agreement that the punishment levied against Dan Snyder was adequate. Is that true? How much did the owners discuss the situation, and are they in agreement that Dan Snyder has been held accountable?
I don't know what all the others think.
How much was it discussed at the owners' meetings?
When?
Just over the last 2 days.
As far as the Dan Snyder thing, I don't think that it was a major source of conversation.
And just, can you speak to what Carl Nassib is currently feeling, how he's doing? I know after...
Well, that's something that's very important to me is in I guess the LBGT community. I have the Aces basketball team now, and that is about 90% African American women with a large LGBTQ constituency and community. And so I feel a very strong affinity for helping in that regard and all that. And Carl as well. I think he's very courageous coming out and playing his ass off right now. So that's pretty good.
Who do you think is leaking these emails?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm hoping you guys will tell me.
Have you looked into it?
Why don't you guys tell me? All right.
Who do you think it benefits?
I don't have any of the answers. I really don't.
Mark, if you had to describe where the league is right now after what happened to your team and these emails, how would you describe where the NFL stands?
I really can't describe it. I know where the Raiders stand, and that's where we'll always stand. And that's really all I can speak to.
Mark, why did Mark Gruden and Ed Villanueva and Brandon Dahl resign?
I think it's pretty much clear now, or I don't know if it is clear now, but it was accounting irregularities that took. That's why if you see the CFO left, the controller left, and the president left. That's what it was.
Can you elaborate on the nature of those irregularities?
No, but I will say it wasn't not paying enough taxes. We overpaid our taxes, but that's one of the probably the good things about it. But
So you paid more than you owed.
we paid more than we owe. Yes.
How much?
Well, I don't want to get into that.
So you're actually owed money back.
Not necessarily, because there are statutes of limitations.
This
So-
was related to an Oakland matter?
It may have started in Oakland.
And these resignations were forced resignations?
Well, I don't want to categorize them. You can categorize them.
Is that a fair characterization?
I would say it might be.
How would you describe these 2-day meetings?
It was great to see everybody again. We hadn't seen each other. I think they had it 600 days or something like that. We got to talk about the collective bargaining agreement and the new television contract, which gives stability to the league for the next 10 years or so. And I think that's really, really big for us. And again, we have a lot of other things to work on as well. But I think that's what the consensus was.
What were your thoughts on Sunday ticket?
What's that?
What were your thoughts on Sunday ticket?
Haven't heard much about it.
Mark, what went into your decision to let John coach that Sunday game before then the decision was made?
What it was is, like I say, we found out about it Thursday from the Wall Street Journal. We didn't hear about it from the league. We heard about it from the Wall Street Journal. They wouldn't give us the email at that time, so we didn't really have that. It was a rumor to us. We then spoke with the league. They did say that they had that, and they had other emails. We didn't see those until Friday at that time, and I wanted to do the due diligence. I wasn't going to just rush to judgment on John. And so we went through the process. We talked to a lot of the alumni. We talked to a lot of players. We talked to a lot of the people that were involved in the situation and came to the decision.
Mark, have you spoken to John since he left the
Absolutely, yes.
What are your conversations? How would you describe those conversations?
Well, he's hurt. He's really hurt, and I understand that. But he understands the ramifications of what he said. His family, Deuce Gruden's still working with the Raiders, still the strength coach. And, I love the family of John and, just things. We all have demons in our lives. And you have to understand that, and then you have to also look at redemption as well.
Did he seem contrite to you? Did he seem
Yeah, he is. Yes, absolutely.
What were the events of Monday? I know you just explained Thursday, Friday, into
Well, exactly. And then after the game on Sunday, I'd spoken with John, and we said, let's not talk about it emotionally right now. Let's talk about it tomorrow. And we spoke about it during the game Monday afternoon. It wasn't based on any, was it the New York Times article? That had nothing to do with it. There's a lot of things you have to get done in something like this. You got finance, you got legal, you got all these different things. And talking with his agent, talking with John, trying to determine how we were going to go about it. So that was most of the day on Monday.
Settlement has been reached.
Yes.
When teams go through this sort of thing, sometimes they will start a coaching search in the middle of the season. Are you guys starting your coaching search?
No, we're not.
now?
We're not even in that space right now. We're trying to win this season. We've got a good coach. Rich Bisaccia is really a good coach. He's done a good job so far, and we're just going to try to control what we can.
Obviously, Mike Mayock was hired by in part by John, or he was part of the hiring process with him.
Yes.
Where does Mike stand with the organization?
Mike is the general manager of the Raiders.
Do you feel like he's the guy going forward?
I'm not going to speak for the future, but right now he is the general manager of the Raiders, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be in the future.
Mark,
Back to you saying everybody has demons.
Yes.
That might be true, right?
Yes, it
Where's the line of demarcation for ownerships in terms of conducting themselves in a way that's responsible? I mean,
I think that we always have to control ourselves in a responsible way. There's no question about it. When you're in leadership, it's very important.
So when you see reports of another owner behaving in a way that doesn't align with those standards, why would NFL ownership not come out publicly and denounce that?
And who are
person?
you speaking of in particular?
Dan Snyder and the Washington Post.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the league came out and spoke fairly forcefully on it. But again, we weren't privy to any of the reports, anything, per se.
Right. Now
that was handled by the league.
Now that you know, do you feel like ownership maybe needs to take a firmer stance on ensuring that an owner like that's accused of such things wouldn't be able to show up to games or potentially get back involved with the organization? I mean, where do the other owners stand?
That's a real good question. I don't know. I really can't answer that at this time, but I do think social responsibility is very important.
Mark, do you think it sets a bad precedent that a league investigation into one organization leads to more ramifications for other organizations than that one?
I don't know that that's the case. I don't know. I don't feel that we were targeted or anything like that. I just feel like the timing might have been a little bit off. I think that if we'd have known in July when the league knew about it, or in June when the league knew about it, that we could have done something before the season rather than in the middle of the
Do you
season.
think Dan Snyder's ownership of the Washington football team should be evaluated?
Again, I don't want to talk about other people really. Again, I think the public needs to speak about it. Do I want to speak about it? I don't. I really don't. Not at this time because I don't know enough. I didn't see the report. I didn't see what went on in Washington. I don't know.
Do you want to see a written report?
Probably, yeah. I think that there should be. Yeah.
Did you let your
Especially with some of the things that were, charged. Yeah, I believe so. I think people believe that deserve it, especially the people that were, quote, victims.
Do the owners have enough power to urge that kind of report if they agree that that's something that they want, more transparency?
I don't know.
When you found out about the emails, did you ask the league why you weren't made aware of it earlier when they first?
Well, I hadn't found out really until real recently exactly when they did know about it. But I had an idea that they did, and that's one of the things I wanted to, before saying too much, and really I still don't know enough about it to say more, but I wanted to get all the facts.
Were you given a reason from the league as to why you weren't made aware of it?
No, I wasn't.
Did you or any other owners urge the league in these 2 days of meetings to produce a written report, as you're saying it needs to be done?
Some of that is in a privileged session that I can't even speak about, so I won't.
in privileged or unprivileged session, did you let your thoughts be known like you are here, up there?
I'm not going to get into that, but I think maybe I might have said something.